Hey everyone, this is X coming to you with a review of Transformers War for Cybertron Earthrise Optimus Prime. Now, a lot of you have probably seen this locally or in online stores, probably wondering if this might be one of those things that could either start me off on a classic Transformers collection or, even replace the collection I had as a kid. Now, this might be one of those things that could help you out, to be honest. And I'm really loving this figure. It's pretty much got a lot of what the old Transformer toy has. And this is a leader class toy, so basically it's of the regular sizes, it's one of the largest class toys. Although a lot of people are saying technically it should just be a Voyager class because of this. Previously there was an Optimus Prime release. There was a Voyager class figure that's in this, pretty much size and amount of plastic. And so what's happening right now with Hasbro is the more plastic they use, the higher the class gets. So that's why you get leader class for this. Okay, so I'm not Hasbro, so don't fight me on that. But yeah. Well, what does it come with? It comes with this truck cab right here, as always. And this trailer and an ion blaster. Now, we'll talk about the things that you can do with those specific parts later. Nothing comes apart in the figure. This is very solid. Even when you transform it, it's entirely transformable. Nothing is removable, but I will show you a surprise thing that's inside there as well. That's an extra part that you can remove, but the figure itself doesn't come apart. There is something in here that you can remove if you so choose to do so. Now, with regards to how it works as a truck, it rolls fine. If you're specific about trucks rolling, it rolls okay. My table's not super even, but this is okay. With the trailer, this one is a little more raised than this on either side, so you're gonna notice that if you're big on the whole rolling thing, it kind of gets left behind every now and then. But otherwise, it's very good. So now, let's talk about the truck itself. This is based on the Earthrise design, which is gonna be Netflix Transformers Season 2. So this is gonna be the Earth design of Optimus Prime. So it's a flat nose cab, like most Optimus Prime incarnations are. And as you can see here, you've got, these are actually clear windows painted. I don't want to spoil the surprise, but see, it's painted silver inside. Did I do that right without spoiling the surprise? Okay, so it's painted inside so that I guess they also don't want to spoil the surprise. Yeah. So there, you've got a nice silver line running from here around. It does stop at the back. Got silver accents here. The grille is also silver, and you've got, oh, actually this should have been out. If you just hold this figure, you're gonna need to make sure that you pop out those canisters. So there, so that's there as well. This pretty much scales well with the G1 version, and it's a lot like the G1 toy that you remember having as a kid, and we'll talk more about that later as well. There are 5mm ports here, here, and here. And what you can do with those is if you have any effects parts from any other Transformers figures or any other figure that you have, you can place them on those ports. See? See that? And you also have them all around, And this one is actually meant for the trailer hitch. So that's a 5mm port as well. There's also a couple when you open this. So if you wanted to do like a turbo thing, if you have a fire turbo effect, that's something you can do. Whee! Okay, so anyway. Yeah. This, as it is, there are a couple of 5mm ports as well underside. See this? 1, 2, 3. And I'm just gonna, this is not gonna make sense, but I am gonna put this here just so you can see that those are things that you can put other things in. And one of the best things that you can try to put in those is this ion blaster. So as you can see, this ion blaster, which I just folded, you can store it under here, which you shouldn't, by the way, because it's not going to clear properly, so you might want to unfold it. See there, you can use that as storage, or you can put the ion blaster here on the side, but you will also find that it doesn't clear. But if you had other weapons, which I will show you later, you can use those as well. Same thing with this. I don't know why you want to do that, but again, it's available for you to be able to do things with. What I'm doing now is I'm attaching what we call a weaponizer. So Cog is a weaponizer figure, and I'm attaching it to the sides of Optimus Prime, and voila. So I have just weaponized it. If you want to add things to your figures. So the Siege and Earthrise figures from the War of Cybertron's trilogy and the Transformers line, they really are big on you being able to add these effects parts and these additional weaponry. So that's one thing you can do with them. Now let's get down to transforming this. Now, first thing you'd want to do is to flip out. Now, of course, I say you can pretty much do whatever you want with transformation, but this is what I do. I flip these out. So those are the feet. And the rest of the feet is just like, you know, how the transformation is for the G1 toy. That's pretty much it. The feet, that's it. Separate them, that's it. But the real engineering magic is here on top. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna open up all these panels. There's a panel right here, see that? Flip open and flip that open. So there's 2 panels, and flip that open, 3 panels. Do the same thing here, 3 panels. Sorry, wrong panel. What am I doing? Okay, there. Don't pop this off, because this can pop off. If you accidentally pop this off, look what will happen. See there? There's a groove, and there's a pin. So that pin takes that groove, and that's just meant to go out. Okay, and that's for later. What you actually take out is, you take this up, take the entire panel, and you will notice that this is starting, these arm sections start to come out. Just take them out. Just free them from their prison. Go around, and you'll notice that there's weird sections here that are meant to go on these triangular sections. So just flip those out, and there you go. Now, this whole thing is actually pretty brilliant because it's all a matter of folding. Fold this, you unfold that, see that? So that whole thing just came up, and you fold these in. And now you're probably wondering, what's his head doing on the underside? So you open this section, you pop this head out. That's what I just, see what I just did? From here, up here. And there you go. Now you're not done though. This section disappears inside. You folded a whole bunch, right? Now you're gonna start folding again. Fold this inside and lock it in. You will notice you're left with a windshield. Now, you're left with this weird setup. You're gonna need to turn this around. And there you go. Kind of looks more like Optimus Prime now, doesn't it? Now, see this back section right here? Fold this up and fold the wheels in. And then, this is one thing I like about modern Optimus Prime figures, is that they hide the fists inside the forearm. So you take those out and up. Same thing with the other side. Oh, sorry, I'm doing it the opposite way. There you go. So there you have your completed Optimus Prime Earthrise figure. Now, he's gonna benefit from those, you know, peg holes that we were talking about, the 5mm peg holes, because Earthrise and Siege figures, they're really meant to connect things. Well, a lot of Transformers toys are like that, but especially these ones. So you can put stuff on the holes that we were talking about on the underside, if that's something that you want to do. Okay, so see, there you go. You can also use the back. I did not transform that properly earlier, but yeah, there. You can have a little sword-like thing going there. There you go. And oh, one thing I want to talk about that is very interesting about this Optimus Prime figure and his peg holes. So I'm gonna put the ion blaster there, and you'll notice that he's not even closing his hand, but he grips it quite well. So it's just fine. So he can hold that just fine. So you won't need to worry about losing grip of your accessories or whatever. What else can this figure do? Remember I told you that this entire figure is pretty much solid and nothing is supposed to come off other than that thing that I showed you earlier. But there is a little bit of a surprise inside if you open this. So basically grip these and then flip them open, and voila! You have a matrix of leadership. And that matrix of leadership, okay, I'm gonna take it out. It's actually really secure, which is good and bad. Good because you won't lose it. Bad because I'm having a hard time taking it out now. But there you go. Here. And the reason he has those clasp hands is so that he can grip the matrix of leadership above his head. There you go. Okay. So he can hold the matrix of leadership. He can't really hold it in front because his chest is too wide. And well, you can kind of have him opening his chest like this and having the matrix inside. I mean, that's one thing you can do with it. The interesting thing about this matrix is that there's a 5mm port in it as well. So if you have an effects part that you can use with it, which I do here, give me a second, there you go. See, perfectly compatible. Okay. Now, if I wanted to put something in the chest for any reason without the matrix of leadership, there is also a 5mm port inside. See that? There you go. It works. So 5mm port there, 5mm at the back, on the sides, etc., etc. Works perfectly fine. Now, just weapons ideas. You can pretty much load. You know what? Let's put the matrix back so I don't lose it. That was a nice surprise, right? So I'm gonna put a shield here. I'm gonna put a blaster. I'm gonna give him the Forge of Solus Prime. I'm gonna equip an axe on his back. See? Lots of things you can do with those 5mm ports. I want to say most recent Transformers weapons for the mainline series are compatible. So it's cross compatible. It's something that they'd like you to do anyway. And you still have ports here on the side, so if you wanted to, you know, spruce up his legs as well, that's something you can do as well. Ta-da! There you go. Now, let's set that off to the side and let's talk about this trailer. I really like this trailer, but it is kind of small. But if I know Netflix, not Netflix, but the production company that's working on Transformers Earthrise, he's gonna have this size of a trailer for sure. It's gonna be show accurate because we've seen what they did with Siege and everything is show accurate. Because it's actually the reverse. The show is toy accurate. So, you know, we're all gonna complain about the size of this trailer because it's smaller than the G1 trailer. It is, by the way. Look at the G1 trailer. I know comparisons are for later, but you know, there you go. But like they say, it is what it is, and it's gonna be show accurate. So what can we do? But what can we do with this? Now, this trailer will not open, you know, if you force it like this. You're gonna need to open it a bit before you do this. You can fit small cars in there, but not deluxe class toys. I'm telling you now, not deluxe class Transformers, and that's something I got from MGO and Optimuses reviews. By the way, watch their reviews; they're pretty awesome. Yeah, you can fit smaller cars, but not deluxe cars. Okay. Now this opens just like the G1 toy. There you go. And you will notice that there are 5mm ports as well inside. So if I wanted to place weapons inside, I can do so. Now these weapons do not come with a Prime. They are okay. This one doesn't fit. My problem with this particular, you know, the placement of the 5mm ports is they're too close to the roof. So a lot of things don't want to fit in there. You will find. So you'll have to find some specific weapons that will be okay with fitting in there. Like the Star Saber is okay. Well, I'm kind of forcing it on the side, but yeah, you can kind of see where I'm going with this, right? The Ion Blaster that comes with Optimus Prime can pretty much go on any side here, I think, without needing to be folded. You can use the handle to peg it in, or you can peg it in on the side like so. But I don't recommend trying to fold it because it won't participate. Now there's a combat deck, as you can see here, and remember I did say that something comes apart. That would be this. This comes apart, and this is something that if you look at the instructions or the back of the box, they have Optimus Prime using this as some sort of backpack attachment. Don't know why, but okay. Yeah, there you go. I would have liked if the hands of these claws were 5mm compatible, but they're a little loose, so they won't be able to handle things as well. If you notice, if I try to handle the Star Saber with it, it's, you know, it's loose. But these are 5mm compatible, these holes. So if you have things that you want to attach on here for any reason, so I'll take this gun and I'll place it here. That's possible. There you go. Right? So many things you can do. And something else. So let me just, you know what, let me take out anything that's not belonging in this set. Okay, so you've got this as well, the ramp. So what I do is I have a cog figure as a roller, because this does not come with a roller, unlike the original. And there you go. It fits perfectly fine. So if you wanted to use cog as a roller, it will close without this. It will close properly with him inside it. No problem. It will roll out fine, no problem. The other thing that you can do is remove this section, pull it out, ta-da! And now it's a weird gaping hole there. But it's a shield for your Optimus Prime. And that's actually something that's posted in the packaging. So those are things that you can do with the trailer. So the trailer parts are cross-compatible with Optimus Prime. Now if I wanted to put it here, that's something I can do as well. Okay, so there you go. That's another thing I can do. Alright, so let me put it back. The original intent of this trailer, though, is to act as a repair bay for Optimus Prime, just like in the G1 toy. And won't go back. So yeah, it's a little bit of a challenge too. There you go. If you open this up and just stand it like that, there you have his repair bay. So this is actually how he comes displayed when you buy the box. Place the combat back here. There you go. So that's pretty neat. Okay. Let's talk about the plastic first. So it's a muted red plastic for his body and a little more vibrant blue, almost pearlized, for his feet. If you have the Siege figure, you will notice, and I'll bring it over, that it's pretty much the same parts. In fact, there's an unnecessary set of flaps here which don't do anything. They're actually meant for the Siege figure, but they're here anyway. They don't really do anything. See, there's another extra 5mm port there. So blue plastic slightly shimmery silver plastic and muted red plastic. And then as in terms of paint, these blue sections on the head and the hands are shiny metallic blue, which is nice because if you have the Siege figure, you will notice that that is muted in a lot of places. In fact, let's compare them. So if you compare the Siege and Optimus Prime from Earthrise figures, you'll notice a bunch of stuff like the head is the same, but it's painted differently. So in Siege, it's like a almost greenish blue plastic, which is great because you know it's a war for Cybertron type of thing, so that's why it looks a little older. While you have the Earth version, which is shinier, more automotive. I'm doing quotes here. And you'll notice the red is a little brighter on the Siege version. It's a little more muted in the Earthrise version. You'll notice that they don't do any actually of the battle damage, quote unquote, for Earthrise, while they have a lot of it in the Siege figure. You'll notice that there's other than the head and I think the front of the legs and the feet, that's the only thing that's the same. And yeah, that's about it in terms of reuse. But for all intents and purposes, the engineering is entirely different for these two figures. So I'm not gonna say that this is a redo of the Siege Optimus Prime. The Earthrise Prime is, while it uses some parts of this guy, it's pretty much an entirely new figure, engineering wise. And you can see that they both scale together pretty well. So it's the same character. It's just that, you know, Cybertron mode, Earth mode. That's literally all the difference there is. Okay, just to compare, this is them with G1 Optimus. So if you're thinking of getting this as your new classic figure, I'm making air quotes again, go ahead. It's a very good choice. Yeah. Alright, so I'm gonna go ahead and transform this back. Okay, so I'm gonna take the Ion Blaster out. And I'm gonna start just from the top, just to be, you know, clean about it. So don't need to do anything with the chest, but you can pop this open. Just pop it open, don't do anything with the head. Basically, we're just, you know, opening things that need to be opened right now. Take out the wheels, unfold this, unfold the chest. If you recall, there's a whole bunch of stuff there, so unfold that, unfold that, unfold that, and two doors will come unfold as well. You'll recall that there are sections here on the back that you need to fold back as well. Then you can take the head and put it inside. There you go. Close this panel right here. And take the arms, close them into fists. Remember, if you recall, there are panels here where you took them from. Brilliant bits of engineering, if you ask me. Okay. And then, just like any other Optimus Prime toy, just do that L formation on the side. And I'm turning it around now. So I turned it around. So the wheels and the grills, all of the grills are now facing forward. just a second. I'm gonna need a little space here. Open this up. Just flatten everything. And this one goes in here. These close up. There you go. And then just fold up. You're almost done. Don't forget these things. Okay, so once you close those bits, you still have these sections at the back. Close those and close the legs, or what were the legs. And now you have the truck cab section. As you notice, there's a kickstand for the trailer if you want to display it separate. Okay, so I'm gonna unfold or fold in the stands for the trailer, and then just attach that peg onto that 5mm peg hole, and voila, there you go. Now let's compare it to the Siege version. It is the exact size truck cap. Now this thing can go on so many of your deluxe or Voyager or leader class toys. I will talk about what stuff this can be compatible with in some future videos, I guess. But you can also use it with your Siege Optimus Prime because he has a trailer hitch, which I should have showed you. There. I'm not the first person to have done this. Everyone's done this, but I just wanted you to see that. Okay, so there. Again, people are going to be complaining about the size of this trailer because it doesn't seem to be a big enough size. But I'm fairly sure when we see the actual show that it's gonna be show accurate because that's what they do. They base everything on the proportions of the toy. Now, how does it compare rather with the G1 cab? So that's the G1 cab. It's pretty much the same size, which is surprising because the robot of the new version, the Earthrise version, is taller. In terms of length, you'll notice that this is longer. So there's that. Now, I'm gonna place this trailer on the G1 toy, and I'm gonna place this trailer on the Earthrise toy, and you'll notice that it's a huge difference. Now, can the old trailer work with the new figure? Let's try. I have not actually tried this before, but let's see. I would say that while the size is great, it does not clear properly. As you can see, it's dragging the trailer. See that? Okay. Yeah, and it doesn't have the right hitch in the first place. If it were longer, I guess, I don't know. There, it's still dragging it. It's pretty far, like, off the truck cab, but it's not, this wheel is not even rolling anymore. But if you wanted to do that, you can. Just saying. Now, overall, this figure though, like I said, if you're worried about, the right size, this is gonna end up being show accurate anyway to the upcoming season 2 of Transformers War for Cybertron, which is called Earthrise, just like the toy. So, if that's what you're worried about, don't worry. You're set. And would I recommend this toy? 100%. My goodness. It feels a lot like the old toy, but for modern sensibilities, and it's got the modern play features as the same. You know, it's gonna satisfy both the collector and the kid in your home. There's one other thing that I wanted to show you guys that I've been doing, because I love the annular ring trailer, which comes with the Studio Series 44, and it does work with this as well. Display wise, it doesn't drag us. It doesn't drag properly, but it clears perfectly well. So there's that. If I try to drag it, you'll notice that it will sit pretty far. Now if that's okay with you, then great. You'll notice that this doesn't roll. It really doesn't. Even it's a fake wheel. So yeah, there's that. And here he is transformed with the annular ring trailer, which is the configuration I usually have it in. I literally got this annular ring trailer, Studio Series 44 trailer, just for the trailer itself, because I love it so much. You can call it a space bridge if you want, but for me it's the weapons rack that was in Dark of the Moon, and I love that. And that's how I have him displayed all the time. So yeah, if you guys have both of these figures, they do work well together, and I would recommend them. And yeah, they're available now at local malls and online stores as well, so go check that out. Hasbro has an official toy shop in Lazada, so you might want to check that out as well. Anyway, until next time, this has been X, and then this whole thing just comes right up, and it just came off.